Welcome to the Lidocaine Drip.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Jess, and we'll be your host for today.
And always.
We're not really organized on this podcast.
Not organized at all.
But we're going to have fun along the way.
You know, we're here to talk about what you may be thinking throughout the day and don't say, or what you do say and get in trouble for saying. That's usually what I do.
In all seriousness, we made this podcast to combat mental health issues in veterinary medicine.
Mental health in general.
And we're here to inject humor into the darkness of our lives.
Very dark, very, very dark lives.
So let's get down to it.
Let's get down to it.
Alright, so hey guys, we're trying to figure out how to do this in the car.
Okay.
Again.
We're recording now.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to the
Lidocaine Drip.
We are going on another adventure today, or field trip, if you will, to see a burlesque show.
Very risque.
So that should be really fun. I've never been to one before.
Oh, I have.
You've been to several.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't really know what to expect, but I think Kevin does. So.
Yeah, I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised, shocked.
Good. Well, I guess we will. The next time you guys hear from us will be after we see the show, and
I don't know if it'll be after the show. It might be tomorrow.
Well,
or
yeah, it'll be.
I'm about to have some gin and tonics up in this grill.
Perfect. I'll join you too. So I guess we will talk to you guys tomorrow after we've experienced the show, and we'll give you our thoughts, and hopefully maybe it'll inspire you guys to go see one.
Hopefully. They're gonna be inspired.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Life's about inspiration.
All right. Well, I guess let's get down to it.
Let's get down to it.
Hey everyone.
Hey everyone.
Welcome back
to the Lidocaine Drip.
I think this is episode 6. We did a burlesque show field trip
last
night. And yeah, we're here to kind of tell you about it. We did a little pre-recording in the car beforehand.
Beautiful pre-recording, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it went pretty well. But before we get to our thoughts on the show and all that...
the extravaganza.
We'll start off with our usual mental health check-in. So, Kevin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. You know, I feel like the night after you, like, go out or something... I don't know, it's just like a blah day, so you just want to, like, you know, rest and, like, digest or whatever you want to call it. But so today I'm just like, I'm not bad, and I feel like I'm just resting and, like, hibernating today, which is good, which is what I need. So
yeah,
I wasn't done, sorry. God, like, my day's not summed up that quick. But no, I feel like whenever I go out and do something new or different, I think, I don't know, it's just exciting to me, and it, like, puts me in a good mood, and it's just, like, changing up the pace of, like, the everyday, like, life, like, you know, the same routine. So it was good. Like, I might be tired and a little, not hungover, but just tired, you know, the day after drinking and going out, but it was worth it in my head.
Well, that's good. I mean, we got to sleep in, though, right?
Yeah. Well, like you said earlier, sleeping, like, while your body's recovering from, like, a backlash of, like, alcohol, like a whiplash of it, I don't think you get really good rest. But even though I slept till, like, noon today, it was a little rough because there was a major thunderstorm, of course, and the dog was shaking like a seizure patient all night, and so I didn't get much sleep because of that. And then on top of it, my power went out this morning at, like, 8 in the morning, woke up, like, because I'm really hot when I sleep. Like my body gets really hot. So
I'm glad you clarified that.
So my body gets like overheated and my AC was not on, and I kept waking up like twice, and I would turn the temperature down more and more. Like, and I was like, why is the AC not kicking in? I like, had it down to 68, and it was like saying like 75, and I'm like, what the hell is this? I was like, it should be cold in here.
Yeah.
And then it finally kicked in when I like went to the bathroom to like pee, and then I like turned the light switch on. I was like, I wonder if the power's out. And yep, sure enough, the power's out. So about 5 hours later, the AC kicked on.
And then it got really cold.
Yeah, that was the time I was waking up.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, and then I take a bath to wake up after a night of like going out. I like slowly wake myself into the day.
That's nice.
And so then I don't need the AC at that point, because I hate getting out of a hot shower or bath and then it being cold in the air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Isn't that the worst?
It's definitely a jarring effect, but sometimes that can wake you up.
I know, but so by the time I got my stupid AC, I didn't need it anymore. It was bath time. Bath time's no AC.
Very complicated rules you live by.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I am feeling rested because I just had a week of vacation time, so a much needed break.
Very much.
And I'm so glad I took it. I'm mentally and physically I needed it, so I've been catching up on sleep. It's been wonderful, especially since I don't get a lot of sleep in my daily life normally. But I kind of had the same thing. I didn't sleep too well last night, mostly because we had a little bit to drink. I don't even remember. I think I only had like 2 or 3, but they hit me pretty hard.
Well, you had that one sip of like champagne or whatever you had the first drink, and you're like, oh, this really hit me. And I was like, what the hell?
A French 75. He put a lot of gin. It's like gin, lemon, simple syrup, and then champagne.
I thought a woman made our drinks.
No.
At the burlesque place.
The first bar.
Oh my god, I already forgot about that.
Yeah, the first bar.
The place we went to pee is we weren't about to wait in a line to get a drink.
It was bad.
Because the doors didn't open for another like 50 minutes, so we were like, we gotta get a drink stat.
Yeah, so after that I was a little bit out of it, but overall I had a really great night last night. I was really excited to go to my first burlesque show, and I think we'll get to that in just a minute.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of recovering from earlier in the week when I went to that haunted plantation, and we did a recording. I don't know if we're gonna release it for you guys.
Maybe we could release it with this episode. Who knows?
Maybe like a double bonus episode.
And if you don't want to listen after the hour mark when we'll show it, then who the hell cares? You don't have to.
That's true.
Because you got your full 50 minutes of us talking anyway.
That's true. We could always release that. It's very discombobulated, but I think we or me, I don't know, probably me. I might have brought like a spirit back to your apartment after I visited that place or something, because weird shit was happening all around us.
I think we should tell them how... I forgot you even came over this week, to be honest. Now, no wonder I'm exhausted. Like, I haven't had my like antisocial like 10 hours yet. But you came over with the thoughts of I wanted to do a little exercise, and I was like, oh, this could be like a yoga episode. You teach me yoga. And then somehow you came over, you talked about the plantation you went to that day, and then just shit went weird.
Yeah. Your animals started freaking out.
Yeah, the animals acted weird. Then we started getting distracted. And
then we started picking up orbs on the film, and then we captured like noises. It was weird.
And then something thumped against the window. It's just an odd. We could be overthinking it. People you could think we're crazy, but it's like, or you could believe it.
We captured the knocking on your window, on the second story window. We captured that on recording. Like, we got that on recording.
It's like the birds are loud again today. You hear them?
Yeah.
So this is why we record at night.
It's because it stopped raining, so they're like, yay.
Yay, like, let's go eat some worms. I don't know.
It's something like that.
Whatever they eat.
Yeah, anyway, I guess overall I'm doing well. I'm still trying to recover from whatever may have come back with me from that plantation. Mm-hmm. But it seems to have at least attached itself from me.
Yeah, I think it's gone.
I think it's
Hopefully
gone.
give it to someone else, but we saged the heck out of this apartment.
Yeah, we did.
I'm trying not to swear as much as my mom was like, you swear too much. I'm like, she doesn't want me to. Like, why am I stopping swearing because of her, you know?
Well,
Because I cares. I'm a great son.
Yeah. You can swear half as much, but you can still say it. Because sometimes it just comes out. It's like part of my normal vocabulary. Although when I'm working, I can't say it, so.
You can?
Well, I can.
I know some people swear a lot at that.
I can, but not when I'm like talking to.
Oh yeah, no.
Clients or
your
students
boss
or whatever.
whoever.
Yeah.
Well.
Anyway.
Well, I think we should still tell them though if we do show it that it was unplanned. Nothing was planned. So whatever we said was just us, like on the recording of us with the whatever we heard in the orbs.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway.
It's not like we like had a script and we were going off of it.
Yeah. All right. So I guess time for light facts.
I think it's time for light facts.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
I can go first. Let's see. So I just looked up some ways to deal with mental health, and I was trying to pick a few that they're just like facts or proven ways that or activities that you could do that increase like your mental health on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. One of the ones that I saw, which I did like, was breaking up the monotony, which I think I try to do sometimes. Like, I'm so fearful of having the same routine all the time. That's why I do like spontaneous trips to go to a burlesque show or something like that. But it says that, breaking up the monotony or our daily routine can make us more efficient and enhance our feelings of security and safety by having like a little change of pace. So, if that means you can alter your jogging route, you can plan a road trip, you can go on a walk in a different park, even like taking your dog on a walk in like the same route but just go in the opposite direction. Like, I know I go the same route with my dog, but sometimes like I'll change it and go like the opposite way. It's a different experience going in the opposite direction, let me tell you. Hang a new photo in your house or move the furniture around. I'm improvising, like I just change the furniture around. But that's some of the stuff. I also found an interesting fact that starting your day with a cup of coffee, there's so many stupid articles about coffee's good for you, bad for you, but according to mentalhealthamerica.net, and their 31 tips to boost your mental health, it says that coffee consumption is linked to lower rates of depression. And it says if you don't like to drink coffee, you could also try like an alternative like green tea.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was interesting. I thought it was also interesting that the optimal temperature for sleep, if you're having trouble sleeping, which is linked to depression and things like that, either too much sleep or too little, the optimal temperature is 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yep.
Which I'm all on board with that.
Me too.
I have a nice quote I'll just say since it's on the page. It says, "You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step." Martin Luther King Jr.
Wow, that's pretty.
Oh, what
that's
a great
pretty good.
website! I like this website.
That was a good one.
Some of these I don't care. Show some love to someone in your life. Close quality relationships are key for a happy, healthy life. Like, obviously
It's true.
that makes sense. But if you're depressed and you don't want to see people or talk to people, I think it'd be a little hard. You'd probably love this one. Boost brain power by treating yourself to a couple pieces of dark chocolate every few days.
Paula.
And it says the flavonoids, caffeine, and theobromine in chocolate are thought to work together to improve alertness and mental skills. Just don't let your dog eat it.
That's what I was just going to say. I was going to say that theobromine and the caffeine is what gives dogs chocolate toxicity.
Mm-hmm.
So they come in and they're wired and they can have, seizures or shit like that if they eat a lot, or they could die. So just don't do it.
Another beautiful quote, "There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of you," by Maya Angelou.
She's a smart lady.
I think that's pretty much it. Get off the grid. I'm like a big person. I don't do it a lot, but just putting your phone down and like leaving it. Like, I feel like I'm almost like ripping away from like this.
Yeah, I'm so addicted to my phone. It's ridiculous. I will be like exhausted, but then it's just this habit, unfortunately, bad habit I've gotten into lately, where I'm in bed and then I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna scroll through Instagram really quick, and then next thing I know, it's like it's been a half an
12
hour.
days later, and
Yeah.
you're like, where
12
did
days
I
later.
go?
Why am I so tired all the time? Well, maybe if you just put your phone down, you know. So I think it's a problem. I'm trying to get better at being aware of that and not scrolling as much and actually like living my life rather than living it through a screen.
Yeah.
So, well, those were good facts. I think those are good to know. Going back to the tea versus coffee thing, I love tea. Like that's one of my favorite things to do at the end of the day is like wind down with a cup of tea. There's this one by Yogi Teas, which is probably like my favorite type of like brand of tea, but it's a blend. It's like lavender honey stress relief tea. I fucking love that shit. It's delicious, and I could drink that all the time. So
nice.
Okay, so my light of facts. Again, we have to tie this in to every episode.
Titanic?
Yeah. So,
is it a light effect?
Did you know that the Titanic was the first ship to use the SOS signal?
The first to use that? No, I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't either, but apparently...
Even the first ship to use SOS.
Well,
then how did everyone else know what SOS meant on the other ships? If you're saying...
No, like to broadcast it. Like, I think they knew it, but...
Oh, that because they were having distress.
Well, because it sank.
But it's...
Spoiler alert.
So do you think other ships were like, oh, they're just like, they hit the wrong button?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. I feel like that's not something that you joke about.
I know, but if you're the first...
Yeah.
That was at the first ship.
I would have to do a little bit more research, but what I looked, it said. So, and then I have
It's
another...
like wikititanic.net? What was it? Where'd you get
No.
that back? I appreciate it.
I'd have to look it up, but I do have another one as well that there, until the 18th century, humans, like, we used to have a first and a second sleep. So you would go to sleep for like 3 or 4 hours, wake up in the middle of the night,
What?
do some like chores or activity or whatever
On
for
your
like
computer?
a couple hours. No, not on your computer. And then you'd go back to sleep for another 3 or 4
What did you
hours.
do in the
So
middle
you'd
of the
have
night?
first sleep and second sleep
What were the years?
until the 18th century. That's what it said.
How do they even know this?
I'm sure
well,
it was
I guess
documented in
I
like
know.
journals and stuff.
I know.
But,
Journal. They don't journal articles back then.
But yeah, well,
You mean like personal journals?
yeah.
Okay.
Or like,
This is the whole world?
well, I don't know. Probably, I'm guessing Europe or something. I have no idea, but I thought that was interesting. And I'm
Very
like,
interesting.
I feel like we should bring that, but it should be like first sleep for like 6 hours and then second sleep for another 6 hours.
I don't know if I could do that.
I could.
A first sleep and a second sleep? I can barely get one sleep in.
Well, that's basically how my weekends go when I'm not on call. I like have a first sleep, which is you know, my normal
Yeah.
sleep, and then I get up. I have to go into the hospital, take care of my patients, and then I go home and I have a second sleep, aka my weekend nap.
Yeah.
So
Do you think you can make up for not sleeping the whole week in like a day? Like people, like someone
No.
argues with me like it doesn't. You're not making up for it, but I feel like I am because I feel so much more rejuvenated after like 1 12-hour day of sleeping.
I don't think you make up for it. I feel like I don't know actually. I feel like I've heard about like sleep debt and you can't make up for it. I don't know.
Sleep debt. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We can
but-
research it for another podcast.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to look into that. But I guess we can get into our burlesque experience.
It just came to me.
I like it.
Just hit me in the head.
Where'd that come
I don't
from?
know. It's not even like a burlesque song, but burlesque could be like dun 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 dun. Right?
Yeah,
Like
very
sultry.
much. Okay, so
So,
House of Blues.
House of Blues.
Bad Girls of Burlesque.
They
That
sure
was
are
the
bad
show.
girls.
Yep. We posted a picture that we took after the show with all of the cast members.
Well, we didn't post it yet.
well, by the time everybody
yeah, but we
hears
gotta act like it's not out right now when we're recording this.
That's why I said it.
I
that
know,
way.
but I'm just being candid. I'm being honest.
That's true. Well, by the time everybody hears
Yeah.
it will have been posted.
Yes, correct.
But so it was about a 2-hour show.
Yeah.
All in all. Each lady had 2 acts that they performed.
This is true.
And it kind of was, what I liked is each one was a character, and then they kind of did, I guess, a little so burlesque is kind of like a striptease, but it's like an art form. So it's not like, they weren't getting completely naked, but it was just like very tastefully done, and I can see where, I don't know, I thought overall it was like a very empowering thing, like woman power, like embrace your femininity, and just I loved it personally.
I think the biggest thing to me, I've been to a lot of burlesque shows, is my friend Nikki. She is a burlesque performer, and I've seen her for years. I worked with her years ago at an emergency hospital, and that's where we became friends. And she was always traveling like to New York City or to New Orleans to do burlesque. So I got exposed to it a lot then. So it wasn't like, it's always different, like acts and stuff, and especially seeing other acts besides hers. It's always cool to see like what different performers bring to the table. But for you versus me, it was probably like a different experience as far as like it was all brand new to you. But I was gonna say, I think it's interesting how they brought up, or the host brought up, like, oh, we're basically like strippers, and she like did the fundamentals, like, we get paid to take off our clothes for like a bunch of people, or blah 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 blah. And so I think it's still like I think there's a controversy out there between burlesque performers even. I don't know, we'd have to ask someone, but like how you would describe what burlesque is. Because I feel like some burlesque performers wouldn't say they're strippers, or would be comfortable with saying they're strippers because they view it as more of like an art form, or you know what I mean?
That's how I feel like it's more of an art form. Like it's kind of like a dance. It's a performance, really. Like it's a performance art, and it just so happens that it's like more of a sensual aspect. So they're, it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's like a tease, but it's like it's entertainment.
It's the tease that's leading up to, like, that's why you don't get completely naked, but at sometimes like the moments leading up to that, where you're slowly revealing things, is what's even more sensual, or like a turn on in a way, by like less is more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've always thought that like the less you see is like can be more of a entertaining, or like a turn on for me. Like I don't like to just see.
Yeah, it leaves something to the imagination, which I think a lot of people these days do not, do. And it's I don't even know. We'd have to maybe like interview Nikki or something and get her like the history and everything, because I don't want to misquote like information, but it's definitely it's a performance art, and it's beautiful, I think. And you can use different props and the costumes and everything. Like it's mostly, I don't even know if you call it like lingerie, but that's kind of what it reminded me of, and like the corsets and just incorporating that, and like a lot of layers.
Yeah.
A lot of layers.
Yeah.
Because they would take like one thing off, and then there'd be at least one more or two more underneath in the same area, and it just dancing to the songs, and like every movement is executed to a certain like beat or aspect of their music, and it's I don't know, I really enjoyed it. So there were what were some of the acts? One was like a zombie schoolgirl, which was that one was good.
I think I thought it was also interesting how you could try to make something like a horror. I think a horror into like a sexual scenario, like the Michael Myers, where you have like a female burlesque performer that starts off dressed completely like him, and then slowly like
with a knife.
Yeah, with a knife, and the things that you can do with a knife.
Yeah.
In a burlesque performance is, you can definitely turn it into a sensual performance and like make that scenario turn on.
And I think
which is weird.
I think it's also supposed to be like it's funny too, like because
there's so many emotions you get funny, sexual.
Well, and I think what's interesting is if like sex is funny because you like it's not.
Is it funny?
Well, if you don't have like that aspect of it, and if you're not like. You always, like, laugh because shit happens, right?
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay, like, I can either be really embarrassed or I'm going to laugh it off. Like, whatever. Haha, that's funny. So I think that those emotions are very intertwined and, closely associated. So being able to bring that aspect out in a performance art like burlesque where it's like, it is sexy, it is sensual, but then there's also
funny.
a humor aspect to it, too, I think it's... what they can do as performers and bring that out and that emotion is, I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
There's also areas, I guess it relates to comedy, is like you almost feel bad in a way for liking certain things that they do. You almost feel like, oh, this is wrong. Like when you hear a bad joke or, like really goes there and you're like, this is so in that, like they went there and like, but I liked it. You know what I mean? But you feel bad for liking it almost. You know what I mean? Like, cause we're like the Michael Myers one I loved and it was like, almost like if you're portraying someone that murders people, but you're like, it's like a sexual act and then you're like I'm like enjoying it. It's like a twist on the brain.
Yeah, but
I loved it.
I think it kind of goes back with what I was saying is like I think that because there's so many emotions around like sex in general, especially in this country, I feel like everything is so suppressed and it's like, everybody's so like, oh, you're not like you can't show your boobs like as a woman like breastfeeding is considered like taboo, like, oh God, please don't do that taboo. In public. Yeah, taboo. I
love the way we say different words. Taboo.
So like you can't do that in public and I'm gonna offend people, but like guys can walk around with their shirts off too and you can see their nipples without any issues. Like what's that double standard?
I have a whole thing. We never even talked. This is another one of those weird things I bring up. Why do men have nipples if there's no purpose?
Because you all start out with the same genetics when you're developing and then there's certain things that get turned off. So like
but why do we have nipples? Like it turned off with
because guys everybody starts out as like female developing that and then it's like the Wolffian duct or the Mullerian duct, those are like the male and female genetics when you're developing like that form like the like genital and reproductive tracts. And so everybody starts out female and then at a certain point if you have the Y chromosome then you start to develop as a male versus a female. So because everybody starts out like that, everybody has the same, and then certain things like, I don't want to say degenerate, but they like kind of just go away with time as you continue to develop and as a fetus. So that's my thought on it. If anybody has the actual answer to that and I'm completely wrong, just feel free to comment. But
I also had an interesting thing about I read when I just brought this up, I don't even know when, to my cousins. I think we were all on like vacation one year in the summer and I brought up to like their husbands and my cousins and I was like, why do men have nipples, and like brought up a whole family discussion about it, which is a great family topic to talk about. Like
that's what I was going to say.
Like,
everybody's sitting around the Christmas tree. Guys, why do I have nipples?
Yeah, it's a great thing to talk about. It needs to be talked about more. Like free the nipple.
Exactly.
Right. But I read somewhere online that I don't even know like if it was true or not, but that years ago it was supposedly. It said men had nipples because they were able to nurse. Because men can lactate, like, in very strange scenarios, right? Like, if you have certain hormone levels that are increased, I think there's, like, certain conditions that men can actually... But anyway, it was said that men, like, would breastfeed their kids, like, and then over time it, like, got, like, genetically, like X'd out or... Yeah.
I haven't heard that one.
Who knows if it's real, but it's interesting to think about.
Yeah, I think so. But, Anyway, we digress again. So getting back to, I don't even remember where I was going with that thought, but anyway, I felt when I was watching the performers last night, I felt very inspired to embrace like my own femininity and just like I loved how bold and like unafraid of not just like showing everything off, but just like how comfortable all of those women were in their own bodies, which I feel like is something that, you know, we all can get a little bit more confident with that, you know, myself included. There's things that I have insecurities about how I look and how my body is, but it kind of gave me a little bit more like, oh, well, if they can do it, then I can embrace that as well. And, you know, I might not be dancing up on stage.
Well, you said you wanted to last night. You're like, I want to do that. And then I was like, I want to do that too. I think I would love to take classes like that and just learn. Like, like I said, it's an art form. It's like a dance, but that should be a whole job. Sorry to cut you off before I forget.
I'm used to it.
That should be a job, like burlesque performers teaching other people how to do burlesque.
There's burlesque classes out there. I'm sure we could look it up.
They would probably teach. Nikki would probably teach us.
Probably.
I've said to her, I want to be a male burlesque performer.
I would love to do that. I think even if it's just like that's the performer side and like you get that confidence being on stage, but in your real life, you know, you're not like that. I feel like even that is just inspiring, and I don't know. I feel like, and maybe this is my impression, but I feel like as a society, again, getting back to being female nowadays, it's like, oh, you know, don't dress like that. Don't wear low cut shirt. Don't show, you know, cleavage. Don't wear tight clothes or whatever. You know, you don't want to attract the wrong attention, but like, honestly, screw that. Like, if it makes you comfortable and that's what you want to wear and it makes you feel good about yourself, do it.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's just a double standard, but...
I would love to even be a prop in burlesque. Like, as a male, I'm just like, sorry, I was like daydreaming while you're talking about... like, if I was like the male prop, like, for a burlesque performer on the stage, like, I could get into that too. Like, use me as your prop, like, put me down, I don't care, like... do whatever, and if I, as long as I like dressed like in a nice cool outfit, I could just be like this prop that you could just like make your act around. Whew, that's a nice thought.
I just think it's like a confidence boost, and I appreciate what they're doing, and
I think you should do it.
I think I would love to do it. I don't know, maybe someday. I would really enjoy that, but overall, I loved the experience. I would definitely go back to another show. I want to learn. I do want to learn how to do it. I think that'd be, I don't know, even if it's just like just for you, like doing something just for you. It doesn't have to be for anybody else. It's just because it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Or you want to do it. That's why.
I think I also liked how you have to have a really good MC. Like she was funny. Like she could be like a stand-up comedian somewhere, like I was like, wow, your jokes are good, like on point, and I was a little jealous because I was like, I want to do that.
It definitely sets the tone of the crowd to have somebody who's a good MC.
Oh my god, imagine what if I was just an MC for things like that? Like I'd be an MC for like a burlesque thing. I'd be like, here's the bad bitches of burlesque, here we go. Like I don't know what else I'd say, but
here we go.
I don't here we go. 1, 2, 3, perform.
That's
your
MC duties.
But she did, you know, the MC does have a very sexy outfit on too. So, you know, I guess I'd have to bring up my outfit game.
I think the only problem I would have with their outfits are like having to wear a corset, because those are damn uncomfortable.
All of them you don't have to.
I know, but like... it would be uncomfortable to have to wear that, and you can't move. And I didn't even wear like a real one once. I have one from like an old Halloween costume, and it just like wholly restricting. You can't breathe. Like you can't bend over, and I think you forget like how much like
bend
movement
over to the front, touch your toes.
Exactly. But I think just to even have that as a confidence boost, I would love to do it.
All right, well, we'll look into that for you. I like this ring, the eye ring.
Yeah, the evil eye ring.
That just reminds me, Well, the corset reminds me of Titanic when Kate's mom, or Rose's mom is tightening her in the corset and she whips those those strings.
Yeah.
But every time someone is tying me in while I'm gowning up for surgery and they tie me in the back, I always say that joke to them, and it's either a hit or a miss. But like I'm always like this girl yesterday at this hospital I'm doing an externship at, she was like thought I was like offended, and she's like, oh, I was just tying it up, like I'm not trying to do it that tight, and I'm like, I'm just joking, like I'm just trying to make a funny joke about Titanic, like I feel like you're the mom behind me like tightening the, but it didn't go well the other day. But anyway, as far as other acts that I was thinking about, one that also like I really enjoyed the one where she was in a mental institution.
Oh, yeah.
With all of the
straitjacket.
straps on the straitjacket were very specifically wrapped around certain things, and I was like, that's like another freaking sexy outfit.
Yeah, I was also thinking too. I'm like, you're watching them as, you know, because there's so many things that they have to keep track of while they're up there performing. Like they have to be on time with their music, they have to be at like the certain mark on the stage, and then there's different straps, and like I said before, there's lots of layers to their costumes, so like they have to pull the right button or the right strap to be able to like take the whole top off and on time, on beat, and like don't pull the wrong one because you don't want to ruin the surprise or whatever. But you'd have to really know your costumes very well. I would imagine.
Yeah.
But,
I think my favorite as far as like art form wise was the beginning of Nikki's one with the whole robe and like the head was covered and the lighting was like this dark purple lighting with this smoke, and it was like, I love acts like that where it's like the silhouette or like the shadow of a form of a person, and like that's how it begins, or I don't know,
that's the drama.
It was so artistic to me, and I've always seen glimpses or videos on Instagram or Facebook of her act like after that, and I've never seen that part of it, and I was like, wow, like I really loved it. But that was another one that like brings up like sexuality, like being sensual, because she was like a dark, like a, how do they?
Priestess.
Yeah, a dark lord priestess, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And it's just an interesting concept. It's like a taboo almost that you're turning into an art form, but also like making it sexual.
Yeah.
So I appreciated it.
I liked it. Yeah.
I appreciated all of them.
I know, they were all really good. I really liked the one where the lady came out and she was, I can't remember the name of the character, but in Queen of the Damned, she was Aaliyah's character.
Oh my God. I thought she looked just like Queen of the Damned.
Did too.
And I was like, the whole time before they said that, I was like, who? I was like, what is that movie with the woman?
It's Queen of the Damned.
Yeah. And then they said it, and I was like, oh my God.
Aaliyah, yeah. And she, like, that one was
Aaliyah died,
phenomenal.
didn't she?
Yeah.
That's sad.
I know.
Whatever.
But that was a really good one, too.
Or did she die?
And then...
I get it, maybe.
I don't know.
We have it right here in New Orleans.
I also...
well, they're going to know the House of Blues is in New Orleans, whatever.
I also liked the one, what was her name? The one, she was the cat. She was remember at the end, then she was like in the little bin and she poured milk on herself.
Oh, yeah, that...
She was fantastic,
yeah,
too.
the milk part was like really good.
I was like, oh, wow.
It was like bringing up, you ever see like Kim Kardashian where she's like that the milk, I was like, wow, milk can really do things. Milk, like
she was, and I know I already said it, but like how confident they all were in their own body. I'm just like, I just need to be, like who cares? Like
right?
you care more about how you look than other people do.
Yeah.
And I mean,
they all did have good bodies though, so it's like I don't know if I would be that like obviously if I looked like that I'd be going up there all confident.
Yeah,
but I know there are multiple, from knowing Nikki, there are other burlesque performers that I've seen that aren't the perfect body shape, and it's like they make it look sexual, and it doesn't matter about what your shape is or like if you have scars or this or that. Like if you're confident and like portray that, then it's gonna turn someone on.
Yeah. I don't know. I encourage you guys to all see one if you do have one available, like, near you. The other thing that I wasn't sure, but I guess it's like they do it for tips and stuff, is like when everybody was like throwing money, like they would like wad up, their money, and then they'd like literally like chuck it on stage.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, okay. Like I mean, it's like a way to show your appreciation, I guess. And
because that's mostly like money and stuff. I don't think a lot of people are aware is you do get paid for doing your performance, but a lot of it is from tips.
Oh yeah.
So
I would imagine. I mean, I can't imagine how much they spend on costuming and makeup, and then like all the stuff you have to do. Like I'm sure you have to do like laser hair removal.
No, I'm
waxing.
Maybe. I guess.
I would. I mean, honestly, I would. Like it beats waxing all the time. But
I've seen performances where it's so different. Like this was a different venue than I've been to. Where other ones, if they're smaller venues or different setups, like where the performers actually can walk out into the audience and engage with you, and then you like put like I put like ones in like costumes and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially when I've gone and if you like know the person performing, they could come up into you and stuff. I liked the venue. I think it's a great experience, especially going to burlesque and going in New Orleans in the French Quarter. I feel like that combo.
Yeah.
It's sort of your like artsy and like that vibe in the French Quarter. It's like, I don't know, what is the vibe I'm trying to think of? Like,
how would I describe?
but
it's kind of old, but
in burlesque I get like an old. When I think of burlesque, I think of old days.
Old is not
old. Like
the word I'm
thinking.
It's I don't even know.
Prehistoric.
Why did you say it like that?
I don't know.
No, I think the French Quarter, it's kind of like, this isn't gonna sound entirely right, but it's like older just because of the vibe, but it's also like new and fresh. So I feel like every time I go down there, you see something new and you see something different, and it's like this
eclectic. Is that the right word?
Eclectic's a good. Yeah, that's.
I'm not happy with that.
I'm not getting the right words to describe it, but I think it's.
Because it's like Halloween, like I get like a Halloween vibe there, and also an old vibe, like a European vibe. But then I also, like you said, get the modern day. So it's like so many things like splashed together. It's just like a big like melting pot of culture and society and time.
I think there's a lot of history there too, and I think one of the things that makes it fresh is like no matter what time of year you go there, there's always tourists. Walking around, and not even like Bourbon. Like Bourbon Street is
its own place.
Yeah, like I mean, you can go on there, but it's not. There's so much more besides that, and I feel like there's also so much more besides like Cafe du Monde. Like everybody goes there, but I also like it's kind of like a weird vibe too, because you have like the psychics and the tarot card readers, and I'm very into that stuff. But then you also have, it's like this mix of modern, historic, and then kind of that like eclectic or weird like energy, and all into one. But
maybe it's individuality. Everyone's has their own thing going on. Or there's so many different, I don't know, who knows. But I think it's especially to go to French Quarter and to a burlesque show. That's what I was going to say. I think it's like, it was cool. I think they could charge a lot more for their show. I feel like the prices were really good. Like we did standing admission, and I would like do a table. Like probably at some point I would go again and get a table.
Let's do it.
Just so they could see our faces, and I could throw them some dollar bills.
Dollar bills.
Dollar bill, y'all. Isn't that a song?
Probably.
I also the last act I love, which with the snake.
Oh yeah.
Who doesn't love a snake? Who doesn't love seeing a big snake? Right?
I don't know. I love snakes. I have a snake myself.
I have a snake too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I'm not gonna say the joke.
Okay. I think everybody knew. But yeah, I have an African ball python.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I don't know. I like reptiles. I think they're interesting, and I appreciate that she was able to do that dance too. She was another vampire, right? Like the one from it's that Tarantino movie. It's not Desperado. No, what's
Despacito?
No, not Despacito.
Suavecito.
The one with she was
No,
like Salma
Pegando.
Hayek's character
Paquito.
in. It was a Tarantino Rodriguez movie. What is the name of the movie? She was Salma Hayek's character, who's a vampire.
Oh, I can't think of it.
Antonio
I know
Banderas
you're
is in it, I think.
Whatever. Well, we're digressing.
Anyway, that was her act, and she had the snake, and I loved it. And I don't think a lot of people at first, because it was kind of curled up around her neck. I don't think a lot of people knew it was like a real snake.
It's a bit. Like, if you
He's huge.
I don't know.
She. I don't know if it's a he
I don't
or
either.
she.
Nikki LaVillain. Is that how you say it?
LaVillain?
Yeah. Oh, what a great name.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it a boy or a girl? I guess she can't answer.
She can comment.
Comment below.
Yeah.
Comment, like, subscribe below, and let us know. We're gonna have to interview her, but I don't think we're gonna be able to fit it into this episode.
We might be able to if we stop now and we can figure out the Skype thing.
Yeah. Should we do? Well, she does. I don't even know if she's available, but we could just add it to it. We could have an hour and 20. I don't know.
We could add it to it.
But we're supposed to also add the experience we had with the orbs the other night.
Or we could just release that as a second one.
That's gonna just be like a blooper.
Probably.
Lidocaine drip bloopers. But yeah, I like the snake act. Obviously, I love the snakes.
I thought, overall for the experience, I loved it. Again, I know I've said that before. I thought it was very empowering.
I think it's awesome they have a photo shoot at the end.
Yes.
Like, who doesn't love a nice photo shoot with the act at the end?
You didn't want to stay, though.
I know.
No, we have to.
Well, I saw this line of people taking photos, and I was like, I don't know if we could stay. Like, I'm getting, I hate, waiting in lines, but it was, the best decision we ever made.
Mm-hmm. It was good.
It was, and they have, the professional lighting. I want one of those professional
ring lights.
Oh, I want a ring light in my, house. So every day I could just,
have somebody. Oh, remember we talked about having somebody follow you around with a stereo to play the soundtrack of your life, having somebody just a lighting team follow you everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere you go,
every picture you're like, oh, I look so great because of all this lighting.
This building with perfect lighting,
Yeah, I had a great time. I would definitely go back.
I think they should be in the main part of the House of Blues. They should be the huge auditorium.
Maybe. I actually like the smaller, more intimate setting. I think I think it works a little bit better.
All right, fine.
Anyway.
I just mean for them. I feel like burlesque is such an not unknown, but it's not
underutilized.
Yeah, and unappreciated. It's not appreciated enough for what you get from the experience.
Yeah. But
maybe that'll continue to grow. Because it's definitely not that stupid movie Burlesque. That, it was a totally, it's not like that at all.
No.
First off.
But I still really like that movie.
Yeah. I was just going to say. I was just thinking of one of the songs.
It's terrible, but, I still love it.
Beautiful, beautiful beat. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I still...
You never sing with me. It's crap.
I'm sorry. Sometimes you just pick up in the middle and I don't know where you're going with it.
I don't even know what song I was singing because I probably am not even singing it well.
You can't blame me for not singing with you.
I know.
If I don't know what we're singing.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so are we gonna try to get her?
I guess, yeah. We're gonna try to get an interview with Nikki. You're gonna hear it maybe soon, maybe in another episode.
If we don't tag it on to the end of this one, we will definitely do a second one with her. Maybe we can do a lesson with her if she's up for it, and then interview her at the end or something like that.
What would my lesson be though? Because I'm a male, so what is a male? What would be there is male burlesque. I know there's a male burlesque show. I think we should maybe go to that too.
Okay, I'm down.
Maybe we could go with Nikki. She could take us, her and some of her burlesque friends.
I would love it.
Or if she just wants all attention from us, we could just go with her. But it could be a field trip with multiple or. Yeah.
I appreciate it. I don't know. I'm just excited.
It's a whole
I think
new world
it's
of possibilities.
Maybe it's a new hobby. I don't know.
Who knows?
But...
Who knows? But I'm not a confident dancer though unless I drink, so I don't know if I could be that bold,
I think
you could.
I think you just got to get into like a character. That's part of it, is like you wouldn't be Kevin, you'd be the character you're playing, and then that would give you confidence. It's just like when you used to do stage work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so did I. You get in character, and that's who you are, and you step out of your comfort zone, and you're playing the character.
Mm-hmm. They also did cosplay. They brought up the word cosplay last night, and I was like, oh my god, I just learned that from the Lidocaine drip. Like,
You
what's
sure
this?
did. Yeah.
I was like, wow, I know what that is. What would you be if you were a burlesque performer? Like, what do you think your act would be? Do you have anything that you, like, off the top of your head? That's my rapid fire question for you.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I like to get dressed up. I like the red lip look, like red lipstick. I would be something maybe, I don't know what character I would be, but I like that old pinup kind of older Hollywood, like 1940s style. Mm-hmm. So maybe something from that era, but I don't really know if I can pick a particular character off the top of my head. Okay,
that's fair. Just was curious.
For you, I could see, like, if you were something. What?
I'm just wondering what you're envisioning.
I could.
What?
I could see you being more like a
god.
I was thinking more of like a Tarzan, like
Tarzan.
In the jungle, like more bronzed, like tan. Yeah,
okay.
like with palm trees or something.
Palm trees?
Like in the background.
Okay. Like a George of the Jungle?
Yeah, so something like that, like, or a Tarzan or something. That's what I would see for you, because you're so tall, like your height, it'd be a good advantage there. Or you could do something like, not Under the Sea, but
no. No.
Okay.
No. Definitely not Under the Sea.
No. Like, no. I was... Okay, I'll just...
No, go with it. Go. Just say, not say. No, go with it. I want to hear now.
I was going to say, like, a merman, like, type, but making it, like, with the trident and, like, the... Like, you could get, like, more fish scale, like, makeup on. Like, you know, when they do... Like the girls at Halloween when they're like, oh, I'm gonna be a mermaid and I'll have like a blue wig, and they do like the kind of fish scale makeup, like the glittery.
Yeah, you take like a
fishnet,
an orange thing. You put oranges in, and then you put it over the netting, and then you like sponge it.
Yeah, so I could see like something like that, but more like along your body, like with the fishing, like the fish scales. So I could see something like that for you. But
I was gonna say I'd like to see myself as something darker, like a dark character, since I don't know. I think I'm very like drawn or intrigued to that. Maybe even like I don't know. Who knows? Dark warlord, a vampire. I could see.
Yeah.
I could also see what that character, like creature that's like half human, half animal, or has like the front Pegasus.
A centaur.
A centaur.
Yeah.
That idea is like what I want to do for my costume for Halloween, actually.
How do you be a centaur with just one half?
What?
How would you be a centaur?
I would have a centaur. Which is the one that's the horse in the back?
That's the centaur.
Okay. Like there's also the goat guy or whatever his name is.
Oh, Pan. What is he? Oh my god.
Pegasus.
Pegasus is the flying horse. What is it? It's like Pan.
Whatever.
It's like with the lower goat body.
Yeah, but I don't want that one. I guess that was so that's why it doesn't matter. But I want the horse one. So my two legs would be the front, and I'd have to like create something to have hooves, and then I could use like some type of stick, or like you make like like in Marie Antoinette, they would use those wiring to make those big dresses. You can make a wiring that attached like a belt and went back and make the horse body. Like I'm very artistic, so I can make it, but I really want to do that for Halloween. So I think that's hot.
I love Halloween. That's probably my favorite holiday.
It's mine.
Have you already planned your Halloween costume?
That was it right there. Like I want to do that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I've kind of planned mine too, I feel like.
Do you want to tell about it, or?
Well, we were going to do a big group costume again for like, you know, I told you the surgery residents, we all went as different versions of Britney
Yeah.
Spears. And we were gonna do a group costume with a bunch of X-Men.
Okay.
So that was what we were gonna do for this upcoming one. But I always have backups too, so I think it's fun.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
That's cool. The bird. What is with that stupid bird from last time? Like, oh, it's rained. It's all like water everywhere. Like it's like all like singing in the hills or like high praises.
Well.
Look at him. He's like mating. Is it like mating season or? Who is he talking to?
He's just excited.
Maybe he wants to
be
do a
alive.
podcast that bad that he has to like ruin our. Oh my god.
I really hope you can hear him.
If not, they're just gonna think we're crazy.
Yeah, I guess.
And then you can listen to our X-File video.
Oh, by the way, this is the first one we've done with our new microphone too, so hopefully it sounds like better than the other recordings.
Okay.
You know, the previous ones, but this one we finally got a microphone that worked. So.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say we recorded the ghost, like the orb one, but that would be after this.
Yeah, that may or may not be released, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess we'll end here, just in case we can't do an interview with Nikki today.
Yeah.
Unless you have another rapid fire question.
No, I think that was enough.
Okay, I do too.
So I'm fired out. Don't got no fuel in this gun. I don't know. It just came to me. God, I should definitely be an MC.
Definitely.
Bad Girls of Burlesque. If you need a MC, here I am. I'd love to MC with someone too. Like just play all week.